Hello everyone, I'm Santiago, and today I'm gonna be testing the surge on the AMD Radeon RX 480 and 580 8GB. For FPS monitoring, I'll be using CAM. If you want to download this software, there's a link down in the description. And if you want to purchase any of the parts featured in this build and support the channel, there are Amazon affiliate links down in the description too. So the surge, I'll be doing 1080p, 1440p and 4K. To skip any of those sections of the video, check the description below. So by RX 580, I meant RX 480 overclocked, since that's pretty much what an RX 580 is. It's a better RX 480 with higher clock speeds, so that's what I did here. I just raised the clock speed of the RX 480, so it should be pretty much what an RX 580's performance is. So first I'll show 1080p using the maximum settings on both the 480 and 580. You'll see that the RX 480 has trouble maintaining 60 frames per second all the time, but it's still over 50 frames per second, so it's still very smooth. After that it has 1440p. In the RX 480 I wasn't able to hit 60 frames per second without turning off shadows, which looks significantly worse. I wasn't that consistent. But on the RX 580 I tried a different configuration on my own tweak settings and I was able to hit very close to 60 frames per second, but you can still max it out at 1440p if you want. You just want to get 60s, but you will be over 30 just fine. And finally at 4K it was impossible to get 60 frames per second. It was also difficult to maintain 30 frames per second even on the RX 580. I suggest completely avoiding 4K and focusing on 1440p or 1080p. So the first thing that I will lower in the options menu if you want better performance is screen space reflections. Then the other one that I will lower is shadow quality. We have off, low, medium, high or very high. So yeah, you can turn off shadows, but the game looked significantly worse, so I recommend not to do that and stick to low if you don't want to lose all the quality there. But shadow quality is a big hit to the frame rate. It controls the resolution at the filtering of the shadows. Also, if you want an extra few frames, you might want to turn off ambient occlusion, which appears to be SSAO, but it doesn't say anywhere. And finally, volumetric lighting. I recommend lowering that, since on outside areas sometimes you get a big hit to the frame rate there, or places where the roof is broken or there are holes in the roof or a wall where light pours through. There you might see a big hit to the frame rate. But unfortunately these options that I mentioned require to restart the game after changing them, so you have to restart the game, which sucks because it takes longer to test graphic settings, but I tested many times and so far those were the options that helped me more to get a higher frame rate. Then for texture quality, if you have a 4GB card, use very high, and if you have a 2GB video card, use high. Very high uses more than 2 gigs, but for some reason high uses less. So there seems to be a huge boost to texture quality from high to very high, so keep that in mind. And then for anti-aliasing modes, we have SMAA and FXAA. SMAA looks better, but it's a bigger hit to the frame rate, a slightly higher hit to the frame rate. I recommend using SMAA. And one important thing that I had to mention outside the options menu for the graphics, the controls for the PC version of mouse and keyboard are pretty good. I was more comfortable using mouse and keyboard in this game than a controller, which is weird. Usually a controller in these kinds of games feels better. In this case, for some reason, using mouse and keyboard for me was more comfortable, so I recommend you test it out. It's actually very well done. But yeah guys, that's pretty much it. I hope you keep enjoying the video. Thanks for watching and see you next time.
Be careful out there. Look out for your fellow workers. They look out for you. Please remember, safety at work is our highest priority and should be yours. Have a nice day, Warren.